Hey guys, T-Wolf here, and today we're going to take a quick peek at the one of the first of the new Pan-Asian destroyers that's going to be coming out. They just gave Tier 4 and Tier 6 to the press accounts this morning, and from what I understand, they're going to be doing a release for Tier 4 and Tier 6 in the next day or two as part of the Blitz Pass that they're about to start again. So you're going to have a chance to get these. I don't know if they're going to be on the free side or the premium side of the Blitz Pass. This is only an early release. There's only a couple of them as far as I know, and the rest of the line will be coming out probably in the next month or two. But I thought we'd take a look today at the Tier 6, just because Tier 6 is more fun than Tier 4, and I figured more of you cared about Tier 6 and Tier 4. So, the Fushun, I'm going to call it the Faux Show, just because that's what Seas Nuts and I started calling it earlier. So, it is a Gnevny class destroyer, and so much like the Anshan, the premium Tier 6 Pan-Asian, and the Tier 6 Russian tech tree, we got 3 Gnevnys here. What's going to be unique about the Pan-Asian destroyers are the deep water torpedoes. They hit a little bit harder. They're supposed to hit a little bit harder, and they cannot hit destroyers. They can only hit cruisers, battleships, and aircraft carriers. So just kind of know that going in. That's what's going to be special about the Tech Tree Pan-Asian destroyers. And yeah, it was actually pretty fun to play. I ran, I think, 8 or 9 games in it earlier. Had a pretty good run, and for somebody who doesn't play destroyer all that well, I feel like I did okay in it. So what I was going to do was kind of take you through my setup for it, how I set up the captain, what skills I went with, what equipment, what elite bonus, and then I'm going to strip the boat down bare and kind of compare it to the Anshan and the Gnevny. That way you guys can get a fair baseline on how it compares to those two, because they're similar boats, same tier, and I'm sure a lot of you have them, so you kind of give you an idea what to expect. So I guess we'll start with the commander skills. Nothing too unusual here. I did take Mistweaver at tier 8 or level 8 because this boat does get smoke, and it's a very handy thing to have. It also gets engine boost, so I took that for level 9. For level 11, I did go APCS, and the reason I did that is because the deep water torpedoes don't hit destroyers, so the only thing I have to hurt destroyers with are my guns, and I wanted as much damage as I could against them. There is a very solid argument to be made for IFHE, if that's more your style, especially when we get over in a second, we look at some of the elite bonuses. You'll see there's an HE bonus in there, and so you could definitely make that argument. But for me, for my playstyle, I did take APCS because, again, if I can't hit destroyers with my torpedoes, I wanted to be able to do as much damage to them as I could. Supplies, pretty typical for destroyer. Let's just go take those off while we're here. Equipment, I did take turret traverse in slot 1, and I felt like the turrets did a pretty good job of keeping up with my turns in the boat. Steering gear in slot 2, concealment in slot 3. I was pretty happy with the way the boat moved. It dodged pretty well, and running that concealment, surface detection, that did get me down to just a hair over 5 kilometers. So I was pretty happy with that. So that's the setup I went with. You could go torpedo traverse. I don't really think it was necessary. The gun traverse was definitely worth it in my opinion. Historical camouflage, pretty straightforward. Main battery firing range, torpedo range, traverse speed, a little bit of a buff to your surface detection, so that was nice. And then we were going to look at the elite bonuses. I did take advanced rudder system, just because it's got a pretty good turn time to begin with, and I wanted to make sure that I was able to move the boat as quickly as I could. Like I said, if you want to take IFHE along with advanced HE shell, I could definitely see that argument being made. An extra 2% to your HE damage isn't great, but every little bit helps. Another 7% to your fire chance is definitely something that's nice. I did feel like I've set a fair number of fires with it as is, and so it just kind of, for me, reinforced my decision to take a PCS. So, you know, each his own. So, see what works best for you. So let's take a look at some stats here. As I said, it is a Gnevny class, pretty fun boat. The torpedoes definitely make it better than the stock Gnevny, in my opinion. So hit points 13,915, just about 300 more, 250 more than the Anshan at 13,685, and pretty good bump over the stock Gnevny, which is 13,340. So almost 600 extra hit points. It's not too bad. Speed 37.23 knots. It's actually a little bit slower than the Anshan, and actually a little bit slower than the stock Gnevny too. Acceleration 9.26 is middle of the pack for the 3. Turn time 3.3 seconds is definitely almost a second faster than than the other two. Excuse me. Main guns, it does still keep the 130 millimeters from the Gnevny, and they do hit pretty good. So same guns there, same reload time. Anshan and Fushun have a little bit shorter range than the Gnevny, it looks like, and a little bit worse damage. In fact, looks like, yeah. So the guns on Fushun are exactly the same as the Anshan. No change there, so a little bit lower damage, but a little bit slower turret traverse, but not too bad overall. The Gnevny needed the faster turret traverse to make up for the crappy torpedoes. Speaking of torpedoes, as I said, Fushun does get the deep water torpedoes, 43.5 second reload time, which is a little bit faster than Anshan. Not quite as fast as Gnevny, but I think they make up for it. 38.53. Yeah, they hit quite a bit harder. Yeah, they hit a lot harder than either of those two. 7.8 kilometer range also is very nice. 6 kilometers on Anshan, only 4.5 on the Gnevny. God, the Soviet torpedoes just suck. 66.69 knots, which is a lot faster than Anshan. Same speed as the Gnevny's torpedoes. And then you get a 20% flooding chance, 20 degree per second turret traverse. So slower turret traverse for the torpedoes than the Anshan, but better than the other end here. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on. AA, it's a destroyer. Not a whole lot to say there. Better than the other two, but still not much. Stock concealment 5.88, which is just a hair worse than the Anshan and the Gnevny both. So pretty similar but different. So yeah, that's it. Like I said, I did run a few games in it this morning. I'm going to show you a couple of them. I mean, it's a tech tree ship. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it. I'm anxious to see how they end up nerfing it, because I kind of have a feeling they will. But in the meantime, I was having fun with it. And compared to like the Yudachi with the deep water torpedoes, I feel that the guns are a little bit more useful on this one. So I do see myself playing this a little bit more. And I'm really anxious to see what they've got lined up for tiers 8, 9, and 10. So I know tier 8 is going to get radar. I haven't seen any specs yet for the tier 9 or the tier 10. But I'm hopefully, I'm optimistic, so we'll see how they do. So anyways, we're going to jump into some gameplay footage now. Just want to say thank you guys for taking the time to watch, and let me know in the comments what you think and what you want to see for next time. Appreciate it. Happy New Year, guys. Take it easy. We'll see you out there.
Enemy torpedoes spotted. We're hit. Engine boost activated. We're under attack. The ship is on fire. We're hit. situation is under control.